Welcome to Golfin Garage. When we set out to build the Golfin Garage shop cart, we had one goal: put everything we believe in on four wheels. Our brand colors, our signature upgrades, every detail we want on the ultimate vintage custom golf cart. Now, we're hauling it 8 hours south to Orlando to put in front of the toughest crowd in the industry. There's something about loading up a trailer and hitting the open road that just feels right. Mile after mile, watching the Georgia pines give way to Florida palms, but this is just the calm before the storm. We hadn't even parked yet, and the reactions started pouring in. Big waves up from drivers passing by, thumbs up from people at red lights, families waving from sidewalks. That's the thing about a retro ride. It doesn't blend in. It wasn't designed to. This cart stops people in their tracks, and we weren't even at the show yet. Orlando didn't know what was coming, but it was already getting a taste. If this is the welcome wagon, we knew that the rest of the trip was going to be something special. We pulled the retro ride out of the garage at our vacation stay and pointed it towards the first event of the week, the Eco Battery House Party. The sun was setting over the rooftops, painting everything in that golden Florida light, and every house we passed had its own tricked out cart sitting in the driveway. It was like rolling through a neighborhood that speaks our language. You could feel the energy building with every block. And this wasn't just a drive, it was the opening act, and our shop cart was about to take center stage. We pulled up to the Eco Battery House, and within seconds, the whole team was around the cart. Hands on the body lines, eyes on the dash, and of course, the first thing that they wanted, let's pop open the seat, see what's underneath. And it was the full Eco Battery lithium system, sitting clean and tight inside of our custom build. In and of itself is a conversation starter on its own. These are the people who live and breathe battery technology, and watching their faces light up when they saw how everything was integrated, that's the kind of validation for your product that you can't buy. The house itself was absolutely unreal. Massive open floor plan, a staircase winding up to the second floor bar and lounge, a back patio with a pool that looks straight out of a magazine. But honestly, the best part wasn't the house. It was the people. There were cart builders, dealers, innovators, entrepreneurs, all under one roof, swapping stories and making connections. It's amazing what happens when you get a bunch of golf cart enthusiasts together in one city. Strangers become friends fast when you share this kind of passion, and our retro ride was parked right out front, holding the court all night long. That party came to an end, and the next morning we hit the PGA Show floor, and the scale of this thing is honestly hard to put into words. It was row after row, hall after hall. There was clothing, apparel, golf accessories, cutting-edge software, technology platforms, parts suppliers, manufacturers from around the world. The golf cart industry, that's just one corner of this massive ecosystem. It's humbling and exciting all at once. We walked in with a game plan, and within about 20 minutes, we realized we needed a bigger game plan. There was just so much to see, and so many people to meet, and so many ideas flying around. Outside of the convention center, we set up our retro ride for anyone who wanted to take a closer look, or better yet, take a ride. And that's where the magic happened. People flagged us down left and right. They wanted to experience the cart firsthand and ask about the build process, hear about the materials, and ask, where can I get one of these? We heard that question more times than we could count, and every single time the answer was the same. You gotta talk to the team at Golfin Garage. We don't just build golf carts, we build something you'll truly be happy with. That same afternoon, we got a visit from someone we really didn't expect. Avery Schoaf, the host of Netflix's Rust Valley Restorers. This guy has seen some of the wildest stories on the planet, and when he walked up to our retro ride, he was genuinely blown away. He couldn't stop pointing out the details, the craftsmanship, the finish, and the vintage soul behind this Bronco-styled inspiration. He even recorded a personal message for Finn, our founder, telling him that this was truly something special.
I tell you what, that thing looks so good that
Matter of fact,
it looks absolutely, the attention to detail, the cuts on it, the way the panels align and how it is absolutely, it's fucking flawless.
So we took him for a spin, or rather, he took us for a spin, and we pushed the cart a little harder than usual, and we sent him off grinning ear to ear. Thanks for hanging out, Avery. We had a blast. That evening, we made our way out to Howl at the Moon for Nivel's networking event, and the energy in that room was electric. There was a live band on stage, absolutely crushing it. People had drinks flowing from the bar, and the entire golf cart industry was just cutting loose after a long day on the showroom floor. They even wrote Golfin Garage up on the mirror while the band was playing. I can't lie, that was pretty surreal. It was a great moment. We made even more connections, swapped more stories, and honestly just had one of those nights where everything kind of clicks. Everyone was working hard, playing harder, and that's been the vibe the entire time from this golf cart community. The next day, we walked back onto that PGA floor with a sense of urgency because we realized just how much ground we still had to cover. Booth after booth, vendor after vendor, battery makers, wheel and tire manufacturers, part suppliers, accessory brands. The list went on, and we shook every hand we could. We asked every question that mattered and soaked up as much as possible. By the time we wrapped, our phones were full of new contacts and our heads were full of new ideas. And that's what events like this are all about, building momentum. The last night of the trip was the poker run. You drive from house to house, you build your hand of poker at each stop, and if your hand wins at the end of the night, you take home a prize. Unfortunately, we didn't win. But honestly, that didn't even matter a little bit. We drove from mansion homes to full-size castles. Every single stop brought new conversations and new connections. Nobody frowns on this cart. Every person who climbed in had that same wide grin the moment that they saw the details and felt the ride for themselves. And that's what this cart does. It really brings people together. What really stood out about this week wasn't the shows or really the parties. Genuinely, it was the community. We all came here for a golf expo, but the cart world showed up in a way that goes so far beyond that. Night after night of events, networking, real friendships forming over this shared obsession. The community is passionate and opinionated, they're driven, and a lot of them are very inspiring. Our little corner of it all, we wouldn't trade it for anything. And when the next big gathering comes around, you can guarantee we'll be there with the baddest ride in the building, the Golfin Garage Retro Ride.
I tell you what, guys. Again, when I go to buy one of these, where do I get it from?
Go to golfingarage.com. Put your info in on the website. We'll get a call back to you.
Golfingarage.com, where you can get the most kick-ass golf cart ever made. And I mean ever made.